All right, so I'm using the same tools you are. I got a clear ruler and I got the clear protractor. All right, so the first thing I want to do to kind of help you out is I'm going to measure the angles, so I'm going to extend the sides. Just because it's confined in the triangle doesn't mean that I can't extend them to help me in my measurements of the angle. I'm just extending the sides. Because those lines that I was guessing at now can become longer and come out on my protractor better. Okay? All right. So now, measuring the angles, I'm going to measure angle C right here. So I put my vertex on C. I put my line on line BC, and my angle comes out to be 60 degrees. All right? Now, here's some errors that people make on their protractor. One, since the degree comes out up here, they put the value up here in the top corner because that's where the degree was measured. But where did we measure from? Vertex C. So this is angle C, which is 60 degrees, right? All right, so that's my angle C. I'm now going to measure angle A. So I'm going to flip my paper over. I'm going to put my vertex on A, put my line. I'm sorry, thank you. All right, so I'm going to put my vertex on A, put my line on AB, and it looks like it comes out at 80, correct?
Which one?
Right here at 80. This is angle A. Angle A comes out at 80. And so once again, that's down here on A. So this was 60. This was 80. Now, can anybody bring anything with you that helps you know what angle B is before I measure? What do you got?
Well, I did 180, so I did.
You're not saying you did. What are you talking about?
I don't know how to explain it. I did 80 plus 60 minus 1. No, 180 minus 80 minus 60, and that got the other angle.
Okay, so what is she saying? So what's the what is she saying, Bailey?
I was just going to tell you I don't believe you.
You don't believe me. That's not new. Okay, what is she saying about the 180 thing?
I mean, I didn't subtract 140 from subtract 180 from 140, and then you'll get the degrees.
Okay, well, we're not defining what the 180 means. We'll get there.
All angles of a triangle should equal 180.
So you're saying that all the angles added up should equal 180. That's what I'm trying to get. You're just pulling out this 180, and I'm trying to see if you can tell me. Now, we're going to show you in just a minute why that's true. I'm not just going to tell you that fact, move forward. Now, some of you need to pay attention. Don't make me have to come sit beside you for you to pay attention. You're grown up enough, and if you're not grown up enough, we'll find someplace else for you to go where they can watch you every 3 minutes. Okay? So, we're going to measure angle B. I'm going to put my vertex right here. I'm going to put my line on line BC, and this is going to come out right here, and it looks like it's not going to be 160, is it?
No.
Not going to be 160. It's going to be what? 20. Now, so what looks like an issue? Yeah?
A.
Angle A. That somebody in here, I can't say names now, I think I've been messed up and didn't agree with me. So let's look at A again.
Coach,
What?
slide the paper up.
Okay. Now, why don't you agree with me? It looks like it's marked at 80, right? I see 80. But what's the problem?
You gotta get it at zero.
What do you mean?
You're doing it backwards.
How do you mean? I agree with you. I want you to put it into correct thought.
Your protractor.
Well, here's the thing. No, I don't have to flip my protractor. That's not going to change.
You gotta start at zero.
Well, here's the thing. Here's an issue that a lot of us make. We see it at 80, right? Do y'all see it? All right. The thing about it is is the protractor has numbers coming all the way across this way, and it goes back across the other way here at the bottom, so I don't have to flip it. What we have to recognize is what is called acute, obtuse, and right. Acute means that the angle is less than 90 degrees. Obtuse means that the angle is greater than 90 degrees. And right means that the angle equals 90 degrees. And so if I look at this angle right here, does that look like a right angle?
No.
Does it look smaller than a right angle or bigger than a right angle? Bigger than a right angle. So therefore, I'm not going to use these measurements up top because they are smaller than 90, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm going to use these measures going across here, so I'm not spending time flipping my protractor back and forth. So therefore, I know which part to use. We have to identify that first. We have to identify, does that angle look like it's bigger than 90, equal to 90, or less than 90 first? So when I use my protractor, I know which angles make sense. All right? And so, since I know that that's going to be an obtuse angle, I'm not using the 80 degrees. What am I using?
100.
The 100 degrees. Good. So that's 100. That's 100, and what do we notice about all three of those numbers added together? Now, did I say that you could prove things by using numbers? Can you prove things to be true by using numbers? No. That means it's true for that set of numbers. If I wanted to do every set of numbers in between there, I could. But that gives me a thought process, right? Gives me a thought process. Now, I'm going to measure mine in centimeters because you're going to use that in just a minute anyway, okay? So I'm going to use my measurements of my sides in centimeters. And so my side for A or BC looks like it's going to be 11.1 centimeters. Okay, 11.1 centimeters. My side for AC looks like it's going to be right at 4 centimeters. And my side for AB looks like about 9.8
What are you doing again?
centimeters. Or the the millimeters, same thing on yours.
What did you say first? What did you say?
I have 9.8, 4, and 11.1. Now in inches, inches gets harder. Here's the reason why they're not going to use inches very much. Inches are in a 16th, 1/16. And so knowing what's a half, knowing what's a quarter, knowing what's 3/4, and all that, it's going to be some estimation for a lot of you. Okay? And so, using centimeters, and most of the things you're going to work with forward will be, because that's something that's in tenths, and we count in tenths. 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, 0.6, 0.7, 0.8, 0.9, 0.0 moves up to the next unit. So we count in tenths. Okay? Everybody okay so far with getting those measurements? All right, so now what I would like for you to do